Hey everyone, if the world of investing has ever felt like this chaotic storm, then you've definitely come to the right place. Today, we're going to find a calm path right through that financial vortex and hopefully turn some of that confusion into real confidence.
And our guide for this whole thing is author Blaze on Fire, who just gets it. I mean, it's so easy to feel like you're just being tossed around in all this financial chaos, right? But the key, and we're going to see this, isn't about trying to avoid the storm. No way. It's all about having a really reliable compass to get you through it.
So, with that, welcome. We're officially in what our guide calls the Fireverse. And really, it's more than just a name. It's this whole community, a mindset that's all about tackling the world of finance together.
All right, first things first, let's dig into this idea of the financial vortex. It's honestly a perfect metaphor for the market because, let's be real, it can feel like this massive, totally unpredictable force.
I mean, just picture a giant roller coaster. You've got those amazing, thrilling climbs, but then you've got those stomach-dropping plunges. It's a total emotional ride. And when it's your own money on the line, it is completely 100% normal to feel a little anxious.
Okay, so this is a perfect real-world example of that exact roller coaster. Just imagine for a second, you invested right before that big pandemic dip back in March 2020. Ouch. Your first instinct, your gut feeling, would be to panic and just sell everything, right? But look what happened next. If you just held on through that wild, zigzagging recovery, you'd be sitting on some pretty fantastic returns today. That is the power of a long-term perspective, right there in action. So the big takeaway here, volatility is just part of the deal. You gotta expect some bumps and bruises along the way. You hear these terms like pullbacks or corrections. Really, they're just fancy words for short-term dips in what's usually an overall upward trend. They're not a sign that you failed, not at all. It's just the market being the market.
Okay, so we know the ride's going to be bumpy. That means every single investor gets to a fork in the road, a really critical choice. And there are basically two different paths you can decide to go down. So on one side, you've got speculating and guessing. This is the world of get-rich-quick schemes, chasing whatever's hot this week. And yeah, fortunes can be made, but they can be lost just as fast. Then on the other side, you have prudent long-term investing. This path is all about focusing on quality companies, on ETFs, doing the actual work, and using strategies that have been tested and proven over time. It's way less about luck and a whole lot more about diligence. And this quote from our guide, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Before you even think about picking a single stock, this choice is the most important one you're going to make. Your entire strategy, your whole mindset, it all comes from which of these paths you pick. Choosing wisely, yeah, that really does say it all. Okay, so if we're going to choose that prudent path, how do we actually walk it and be successful? Well, that brings us right to the core philosophy for getting through this vortex, the power of applied knowledge. Now, this is interesting. Our guide, Blaze on Fire, makes a really important point here. They're not some guru who has all the secrets. Nope. Instead, they see themselves as an experienced student of the market. And that's so crucial because it means this whole philosophy is about always learning, always growing. It's not some static, do this and you're done kind of fix. And that's not just talk. That dedication is backed up by a full decade of study and real hands-on experience. I mean, think about that. That's 10 years of watching this roller coaster, learning its ups and downs, and figuring out how to actually ride it effectively. And that kind of experience leads to some real wisdom. Like this quote right here. Knowing what not to do can be just as important as figuring out what you should do. For example, learning not to panic sell when the market drops, that's just as valuable as knowing when to buy in. Seriously, avoiding the common mistakes can save you a whole lot more money than chasing some hot new trend. And this all comes back to that central idea, applied knowledge. See, it's not enough to just read books or watch a bunch of videos about investing. The real game changer, the thing that separates success from failure, is taking all that knowledge you're gathering and actually, diligently putting it into practice. You know the saying, knowledge is potential, but application, that's power. So what does that path look like? Well, it's really broken down into 3 simple steps. First, you focus. Focus on quality stuff, like stocks from solid, well-run companies, or ETFs, which are kind of like baskets of different stocks that help spread out your risk. Step 2, learn. You got to do the work, put in the time. And step 3, apply.
Take what you've learned and put it into practice consistently. It's a really simple framework, but it's an incredibly powerful strategy.
So, look, what we're doing here today, this isn't the finish line, not even close. Think of it as the starting block. We've laid out the foundation, and now your personal journey, your adventure into investing, that's where it really begins. And it's so important to keep this in mind. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Well, neither is a successful investor. It's a building process, brick by brick, over a long period of time. It takes patience, and you absolutely have to understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
But the really cool thing about this Fireverse Learning series is that it's designed so you are in control of your own marathon. You can go at your own pace, you can jump from the first video to the 15th or even the 100th if you want. You can cherry pick the exact topics you need right when you need them. It's all on you. The power is totally in your hands.
So, what's the endgame here? What's the whole point of all this? Honestly, it's not just about watching numbers go up in an account. The real goal is to give you the tools, the knowledge to build and maintain real, lasting wealth. It's about reaching that point of financial independence where you just never have to want for anything. That is a seriously powerful vision. And you know what? It's achievable. So, there you have it. We've navigated the entrance to the financial vortex. We've taken a good look at the map, and now the real journey begins. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to take that first step?